Hello, my beautiful gamers. We are back once again with Civ 4 Colonization We the People, continuing our run here as France. And before we get started, please like, comment, subscribe, do those fine things for me. I would appreciate it muchly. And without further ado, let's get right into it. All right, here we meet the king. Our governors in Africa have informed us that the slave markets are overstocked. Slaves are cheap. Although we consider slavery morally reprehensible, we cannot help point out that slaves would increase the productivity and our income. We therefore strongly advise you to consider using slaves. A shipment of slaves would cost only 135 gold doubloons. I'm gonna lie and say we don't have the money for it because we're playing ethical colonization right now. We're gonna treat the natives so nicely, and we're not gonna use slavery, and we're gonna thrive in spite of that. You know, we're gonna do colonization the way God intended. And here, this is like I guess kind of like a bay, a cove? Question mark. Ooh, toucans. What do they give us? Feathers. That makes sense. I do like them though. Look at them. Dang, they're just flying around, flapping. So what I'm thinking, right? We got Quebec here. What are some? Oh, I didn't even see these. These are gems. This is just a money printer. So we want this, the gems here. That's like a must. We don't want to settle in swamp though, because that gives you a health penalty, and that kind of caps the health kind of caps how big a city can grow. Uh, Same with the happiness. Those both do things differently. If happiness is too low, like here, I'll click on this and show you. So if this number here on the left is below 0, there's a chance they'll revolt, and the bigger I guess the lower the number, so the bigger the negative number, the higher chance that they'll revolt. And when they revolt, you can't do anything with them, and it's really annoying. When health is too low, I haven't really checked. I've had good health in all of my cities, but I assume it's bad when people start dying. That's just my assumption, though, so don't quote me on that. But, so point being, we'd want to settle like on this instead of this. But this is the timber is nice because getting lots of food is nice. Not food. Timber isn't food. I'm not a beaver. Um, Lots of wood is nice because then you can use it to turn into production. I think I'm gonna chance. No, I don't need to do that. I don't need to chance that. What am I saying? Don't listen to me. That's a silly thing I just said. And we're gonna come all the way back up. I've explored enough, you know. Like this region, I think, is what I'm gonna be trying to colonize here. This is the first steps. This land of rivers. Gems priority number 1. But then the other issue with that is having transportation to bring the resources between the two colonies. Because as you have noticed, right? Oh, I obtained a treasure. I'll get to that in a second. But the resources we load onto the ship and then we move it all the way to Europe. And we need a land version of that system to bring stuff between colonies. And this treasure worth 954. That's pretty sweet. We'll bring it over to our city. I need to build a pier first for it to be able to get sold. But basically, how these treasure things work is if you don't have a galleon, then you sell it to the king basically, and he gives you half of its value. But if we do get a galleon, then we can bring it to Europe ourselves and get all the money we want. I think now that I've found this, we'll go and look at introduce ourselves there, is what I'm trying to say there. Oh, yeah. So I don't know what the max. Oh, wait, it says it here. So once so food is another resource just like everything else in this game, and once it reaches 129 we will get a new population and it'll be a free colonist. I think it depends on what you have in your city. Like if our city was just all slaves, I think it would just birth another slave pop, but we're not going to have slaves because we are good Frenchmen. So instead what we will do is, okay, so we have a coffee planter or a farmer. Farmer could be nice. Actually, I say that, but it's like, what am I going to get out of that? What am I farming here? I don't think I'm really farming. The coffee, that could be actually useful, though. Or do I just have him here? No. Ideally, it would be a cocoa planter. Maybe this guy's a cocoa planter. This is a coffee bush, though. Ooh, bring it down here. Oh, this could be strong. We have a city like here-ish somewhere. We get the coffee, we get the food from the corn. That could work. That could be something. But I'd have to settle that city first. That's the only downside there. So maybe no, long-term investment. I'll send him up, learn to be an expert coffee planner, and then by the time he's done, hopefully we'll have set up a city down there. And here I'm going to take this fur and the rest of this fur because it's more valuable than olives. That's a fun fact for you. No, don't declare war. We are the ethical colonizers. Speak to the chief. Expert miner. I don't think that's very useful for us. At this time, at least. Maybe in the future. Our treasure chest. I'll just, yeah, have it auto path all the way there. And then we'll find out what Aonikenk, what they do there. No, I'm going to find out. Oh, wait. Can he do it with no movement? The answer is no. I have to wait till next turn. Embarrassing. Let's see. He cannot move on mountains. That's tragic. I think north, I don't really want to explore north because that's where the Dutch are. So they're going to probably be expanding there anyhow. So we'll just move down and start looking at more of the open stuff. And I don't really know where the Portuguese are because they didn't settle down here. So it's kind of up in the air. And let's try trading. They don't have anything to trade with me, but I'll offer a defensive pact. And it seems like they'll accept it. Yeah, they do. So all is chill there. We're going to be besties for life with the Twelchi. I think that was their name. I hope so. Or else that's really embarrassing of me. Send that ship to Europe, and then we are going to find out what's in this town. Rice farmer. That's very specific and also not helpful. So, yeah, it's just not helpful. We not the luckiest, not the luckiest. But here, this is what I'm talking about. Here we have a converted native. They are slightly better. It depends. So the free colonist, I believe, gets no bonuses or nerfs to anything. And when I say that, what I mean is at producing any of the resources. Whereas the converted native, I'll just run him to Quebec really quick. He's better at getting natural resources, but worse at producing resources. So like if I put him on wood, I think he'd get +2 wood every turn. So this 4 would turn into 6. But I think he gets -1 on production. So if we gave him 4 wood to turn into production, he'd only produce 3 production instead of 4. Because the normal rate, I believe, is 1 for 1. But it depends based off what profession your colonist is. And here we have a leather worker, a normal colonist, or political refugee. I don't think the political refugee is super helpful right now, because I think they really just help you with, what's it called? Bells, liberty. So I think what I'm going to do is I'll take this guy and I'll turn him into a settler. That way we can settle another city. And I think it'll have to be another coastal one because I don't have the stuff to make the carts for land. And so I'll just tell him, show up sort of in the bottom because I'm going to be going for this spot. Do I have the money for that? I think I do. Because, yeah, like I said in the beginning, after you settle your first city, they'll be a little less willing to give up their land. And most of the time, they just ask you to buy it from them. And, since we're ethical, that's what we'll do. Oh, I just went on a goody hut. I didn't even realize. Go us. Luck just keeps falling into the lap of the French. Mandatum. His Majesty is delighted for the first shipment of furs. Okay, so now he wants be the first to trade 4,000 furs. We can probably do that. Yeah, you live amongst the natives, become the expert coffee planter, be one with the bean. Meanwhile, this new ship. Okay, where do I want it? See, like right smack dab in the middle could be nice because then I'm gonna get this fish, this shellfish, and then these two. But then I'll get the health. I'll get the 1 less health from it being swamp. But at the same time, it's like if I want both of these, I'm just gonna have to deal with that, unless I put it on this hill. Huh? Because once the borders expand, yeah, once the borders expand, I'll get both of these, and that gives a little bit more room. If I wanted to put another city here, that would kind of block it because it's a 3 tile buffer. But I guess it's kind of screwed no matter what, actually. So I don't really need to think about that. So yeah, I'll just put it down here. And then we'll keep exploring. I think this is just going to be coast. I was wrong. It's another lake. So big win. Cows. Cattle. My bad. It doesn't say cows. I've just lied to all of you. Royal court has been taken with the picturesque garb and customs of certain of our converted native subjects and is sent for them to be transported to Europe. Okay, this is a question for us, I guess. What is the ethical decision here? As they wish, perhaps this will help us to curry favor at the court. So we're basically selling our converted native to the king in Europe. Or we tell him no and, make the king a little irie. I almost clicked on that. What's the ethical decision here? On one hand, they live with us, and our colony kind of is it's buns right now. So would it be worse to have us put them to work constantly, or they just live a lavish life in the court, being a Native American at court? I mean, I don't know what they'll do with him when they're bored. when they're tired of him, you know? Can I trust the king? I'm not sure I can. I don't know the guy well enough. You know, I think these people are human beings, not a museum exhibit. I've decided we're keeping him. And here, okay, so it's showing me where it thinks we should settle. I understand why it wants us to put it here. Because once you, okay, another thing with culture expansion, right? So you start off with this, right? I'll show you. So you start off with all the ones around it, and then it goes out 3 like this. Boom, boom, boom. And then the third expansion lets you get the corners. So if I put it here, I'd get all of these resources I was talking about. And then I'd also get this, but on the third expansion. So I just need to be a bit more culture focused. But it's also just going to happen over time. You know what? I think we'll do it. We'll grab the tobacco too. Yeah. Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it. And then I'll use this time to just explore a little bit more. And there's a humpback whale. That's cool. But as for this explorer, we'll go down to, what is this? Malpuchera. And we'll see what's up there. And then we'll also check out Hausch. Ask to speak with the chief. So they are expert coffee planters, and they are in need of sailcloth. More coffee planting. It would be nice to see something a little different, but, you know, I'll take what I can get. And then we'll check out this goodie hut. It's got some quick money. And I'll grab this other one. Why not? Is this the bottom of the world? Question mark. Let me look. I mean, I don't think so. Yeah, it looks like it keeps going. Oh, there are the Portuguese again. But where are their city? Where is their city? And now for what exactly we want him to do. I think we'll start stockpiling some wood. So once we get a third colonist, we are able to have someone on production, then we can just start absolutely churning stuff out. But like I was saying here, when you hover over them in the city, it shows you, right, production modifier of 2. So yeah, we get +2 from all those things, +1 from those other things, and then -1 on all that produced stuff. And now we're going to settle for real. We are just barely not able to pay that. That sucks. That really sucks, actually. So they will wait down here because we're going to be nice and stuff. Oh, expert coffee planter is done. So we'll just start them walking down to where the city will eventually be. And we'll see what Malpuchera is. Expert hunter. That's a solid one. Let's try and nab up these 2 goodie huts here on this little peninsula. And as for our mounted conquistador, yeah, get that campfire at some point, please. And yeah, all the gold, just go to Quebec. Oh, yep. This is what I'm talking about. More. Ooh, did we find a passageway? We did. So going from here, we'll be able to go the other way. We found the west coast. Basically. Oh yeah, we just looted a bunch of gold. Ethically, of course. Ethically. I promise. No one was there. You all saw that. So that means we can buy that land now. We discovered a young black man. We discovered him. See, all is chill and ethical here in the French colony, Nouvelle France, or whatever they call it. So we can send him to Quebec. You know, he's not a slave. He's just a young black man. Give that. You know, we'll just emphasize hunting wild animals. Maybe we can go back up there and kill that bear. That's what I'm really gunning for here. Bear murder. And I I mean, I guess that's all for here. So now we can start exploring where I think the Dutch will just end up being. A lot of clicking noises just happened. Uh, keep on going. Move this along its way. Oh yeah, we got another converted native, this time from Yamana. Our investments are paying off. And we finished the chapel. Let's go, my holy people. I do need the pier so we can start selling all of... Oh wait, he's offering warriors. I don't want them. Be the first governor. Oh, I guess I also forgot to finally settle. So we'll do that now. Yeah, so I accept the price. Fairly bought. Montreal. Montreal. However it's pronounced. I don't know French. Point being, city is settled. We have 2 whole colonies now. Doesn't that just bring a smile to your face? Two ethically environmentally sustainable colonies. And let's see what is being worked here. Rice. A solid choice. I think. Oh wait, I also got to get this guy in here. So I'll do the thing that I was talking about earlier, where you have one guy on wood and then one guy on production. And then see, this is just going to take 4 turns. The other one took, who even knows how many turns. A lot, though.